Good morning. I want to speak to you about God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of love and of power and of no, a spirit of power and of love and of sound mind. And I want to talk to you about how do you make a way out of no way? When you have millions of people who are feeling powerless, and many people have lost their jobs. I was reading a guy named Chase, and he lost his job, and he was evicted before the restrictions. He's sleeping in his truck, and then his truck was hit by a hit and run driver, and that limited his ability to go around and to find employment. He was sleeping in his truck. And he said something that grabbed me. He said, "This is a new place for me, a new experience. Standing at the end of a ramp off the expressway with a sign, 'I am hungry. Will you help me?' This is a new experience." Wow. Wow. How do you make a way out of no way when you're in that kind of situation? And so I want to talk to you about a period that had to be the lowest, I think, really in terms of things happening. This is one of the lowest periods of my life. When I lost a home, the first one that I bought from my mother because I didn't do a title search. And we had to go back to the roach infested house that I moved mama out of. And when you say, well, what do you do? I remember my mother saying, boy, unload that truck, take that furniture in the house, keep your head up. We still have each other. And so here I am, back in this roach-infested house. But let me share with you why in less than 30 days, I was able to get another one. John Leslie, come here, please. Yes. And I'm going to tell you what happened for me. Now, just thinking about it just gives me the heebie-jeebies, all right? So here I was and on rock bottom. Didn't do a title search for the house that I bought from my mother. The house went into foreclosure. We had to move back. And I'm feeling humiliated and shame and guilt, and had my head down crying. And mama said, boy, hold your head up. And she put her hand under my head. Hold your head up. Put her hand under my chin. And take that furniture in the house. We have nothing to be ashamed of. I felt so proud, first of all, to move her out of this roach-infested house. That, you know, roaches that when you turn the light on in the kitchen, they start scattering, running. He's here, you know, let's hide before they go get some black flag or something, all right? Okay, so I was living in Ohio. So I came back home to get my mother home. And I was going to be in the back, and mama would have the master bedroom. It was a very large place, and we were very comfortable, but we had to get out and go back to the house that I moved her out of. So which meant I had to live in the roach infested house. And I said, mama, these roaches, they're getting on my last nerve. She said, boy, you were raised with roaches. Shut up and flick them off. But you know what? Now, there are things that motivate different people. This guy that I'm telling you about, let me tell you something. Brother, I hope you're listening to me this morning. I have a solution for you. How do you make a way out of no way? I want you to write this down. Choose your hard. Life is hard. And you can choose to stay where you are, And that's hard. Trying to survive living in your truck, trying to keep your esteem up, standing with a sign that's saying, I'm hungry, and how people come by looking at you and laughing at you and passing you by and don't let you register in their eyes and you feel invisible. That's hard. But there's another hard. And that hard that you can choose is to go into action, is to find something somewhere that you can earn some money from. And that's what I had to do. And let me tell you what motivated me. Did I tell you that I hate rats? I love Mickey Mouse, but I hate rats. Okay, so the first night I stayed in the house with Mama, I could hear rats in the wall, and they're in there talking. And came back in. They done broke up our bid-whist game. We can't even play cards anymore during the day out front. I'm hearing rats. It gives me the creeps to hear rats in a wall. I'd never heard that. It will give me the creep. I couldn't sleep that night. They're back there talking and playing cards and cussing too. Rats cuss, you know, because sometimes the roaches eat their food. I'm laughing now for that night. That first night that I stayed, I could, you know what? Mama, she never told me about that, but maybe she couldn't hear. Mama's in her 80s. Maybe she couldn't hear the rats, but I could hear them real good in the wall. They gave me the creeps, and I got motivated. See, I had a choice. I could do hard. I could listen and cringe and say, I hate these rats, and I can't stand it, and be up all night with my eyes open or one eye closed, hoping that one of them don't come out and bite me and give me rabies. Or I could come up with some ideas and go into action and start working and being relentless. I didn't have time to be in fear. I didn't have time to feel sorry for myself. I didn't have the luxury of being depressed. Oh no, I was determined to get away from those rats who I don't like. Did I tell you I don't like rats? Absolutely. Tyrone, you're not kin to any rats, are you? No, okay. Tyrone he says, no. You don't know Tyrone? Don't worry about it. So anyhow, I started working. I started reading books. I started reading 4 to 5 books. I started memorizing quotes. I was speaking on a volunteer basis, and people would give me a love offering. In many cases, it showed that they didn't love me very much. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power. I use my power. Use your power to create a new beginning for yourself. Use that. How less a spirit of power and of love. Find something that you love. Do what you love and find a way to get paid for it. So guess what I decided? I couldn't go back to a job because I don't like working for someone else. I'm not mentally fit to work for someone else. I didn't come here to work for someone else. I came here to live my calling. A job is what you get paid for. A calling is what you're made for. I came here to speak, and I was going to find a way to get paid to speak. And I would go to seminars and workshops. I invested in myself. I couldn't afford to do it, but I couldn't afford not to do it. And I'd watch these speakers, and I'd go to their seminars, and I would study them. And I'd say, hey, I can do that too. I read their books. Hey, I got a book in me too. Live your dreams. See, I was talking about being successful. Well, you talk about an example of calling forth those things that be not as though they were. Here I am. I was giving speeches in Detroit, Michigan, staying in the Penobscot building on the 21st floor. 21st is significant because 7 is my lucky number. 3 times 7 is 21. And bathing in the sink down the hall. And during the day, going around volunteering to give a speech. You can live your dream. Bathing in the sink, is that your dream? Hiding in the closet from the janitorial staff when they come in to clean the office at night, is that your dream? Getting caught by one of the new janitors who heard a sound in the closet and they opened the door and there you, Boo and Larry DeAngie in your underwear, and you say, it's not what you think, big boy. The guy started laughing and said, okay, we're not going to tell on you. We heard that somebody was staying in their office up here. And we heard a little noise in that closet, but we ain't going to tell on you. We're not going to report you. But, man, y'all got to do something real soon. I said, I will, man. I'm just behind on my bills and my dream. Let me tell you something. I know about tough times. And see, they can make you or they can break you. Come on now. Come on. Bring it. Come on now. Yeah. God not giving us a spirit of fear. So I didn't have time to be fearful. I had to replace fearfulness with being fearless and creative and take the initiative to do something else with my life. See, we all have these tough moments in life. Walt Disney filed bankruptcy 7 times, and he had 2 nervous breakdowns. Oh, he was bent, but he wasn't broken. No. He kept creating. Someone stole his first cartoon that had great promise, and someone stole it. Somebody on his team stole it from him. His heart was broken. But he didn't stay there, being angry and bitter and talking about it. He created Mickey Mouse. Had that person not stole his first cartoon, Elmer, Mickey Mouse would not have been born. Many times when one door closes, another door opens, but we many times spend time looking at and talking about the closed door. We don't see the open door. But I must add, he told his family, no matter what you do, file lawsuit after lawsuit and get my first cartoon back. And last year, his family won the lawsuit. And now that cartoon that was stolen from him, he orchestrated that from the grave. That was a bad boy. The family, the Disney family, got it back. Listen, let me share something with you here. You have no idea how strong you are. You're not in this thing life by yourself. And my heart goes out to people who have lost loved ones or loved ones have been diagnosed with the coronavirus. But one of the things that I know about this thing called life, when I lost the first house that I bought for my mother, I had to, 1, recognize what had happened, the role that I played in it, and 2, I had to keep it moving. Got to keep it moving. You don't have time to be depressed. You got to keep moving. If you stop, when they say an idle mind is a devil's workshop, yes. If you don't keep it moving, you will become overwhelmed with feelings of being powerless. You'll become overwhelmed with a negative mindset. You'll become overwhelmed with the adversities that you're facing, and you forget greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. You forget you are more than a conqueror. You forget that you have the power to live your dream. No, you got to get fired up. You got to get fired up in this thing called life. Let me tell you, this is the old Les Brown, but I got to introduce you to him sometime. Give you a little glimpse of him. I went to this training seminar. I was just starting out. I don't know what caused this guy. I was the only raisin in the milk. I don't know what caused him to come in my face and say, you have no right to be in here. In my face. 1982, I'll never forget. July the 8th. And not only did he ask me to leave as I was getting up, he slapped me. Oh my God. And Robert Boyd, who brought me there, he said, man, you shouldn't have done that. Let me tell you something up in here. I grabbed his jewels. Back up, boy. Back up. Bam. You better not fall. Back up. Please. I'm sorry. I know you're sorry. Bam. Don't you want to fall? Bam. I hit like Muhammad Ali. Bam, bam, bam. I'm holding his jewels. Mm-hmm. Bam. Did you take your medication this morning? No. That's Tyrone. He's a squirrel outside my window. No, I did not, Tyrone. So, I don't know what possessed him. I don't know if he had a bad night's sleep. I don't know. But they tell me he never slapped nobody else that looked like me. I left him unconscious. Listen, so many things can happen to you in life. So many things. This corona thing is not the first thing that happened to us. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod where we get the hell beat out of us just for being here. Where you have picnics and people come with sandwiches and food baskets just to watch us be hang as recreation and something funny to laugh at. Bitter the chastening rod. Felt in the days when hope, unborn, wow, had died. The hope hadn't even been born yet, and it died. Yet, oh, come on now. Come on, James Weldon Johnson, with a steady beat. We kept moving. Yet with a steady beat, have not a weary feet. I don't feel nowhere as tired. Come too far to turn around. Come on, William Hollis. I didn't come this far to come this far. Yet with a steady beat. God, thank you. Not a weary feet. Come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We've come over the way that with tears have been watered. We have come treading a path through the blood of the slaughtered. Oh, we've been here before. We've been here before. We are the children, the ones that would not die. When we hear these words, you are more than a conqueror, those were for us. Why? Because we're still here. The fact that we still have our mind, after going through the worst form of man's inhumanity to man in the history of the world, we are still here. Oh, wow. And whoever you are, whatever your paint job, you're still here. And this day is the best day of your life. This day, how could you say that? I don't have a job. This day, I'm going through foreclosure. I've just been evicted. This day, I'm making a choice between prescription drugs and food and keeping a roof over my head and clothes on my back and keeping our family together. This day, the best day of your life. How could you say that? If it's not, try missing one. You have the power in you to change it. You've been given authority and dominion over everything on the face of the earth. Find a way to win. And that's what I had to do. Find a way to win, to get the money that I had lost, that somebody ripped me off for. to get it again and restore my confidence in myself, my faith in myself. Get another house for my mother. Oh, it's so hard, Les. It is. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power. What he gave us, power. The power to change things. Use your power to change things, not to complain about your situation. Use your power to recreate things, not talking about where you are and the state of the condition. Use your power because you've been given authority and dominion over everything. Exercise it. Don't give it away. Don't allow depression to exercise authority and dominion over you. Don't allow sadness and loneliness and feeling sorry for yourself to exercise authority and dominion over you. Go from worry, being a warrior, to a warrior. Now it's time to fight up in here, up in here. You now need to act a fool up in here, and call forth those things that be not as though they were. Up in here, up in here. Yeah, that's what time it is. No one's sitting around fretting and being anxious about December the 31st. No, you should be too busy. It takes power and initiative and ideas and being creative and humility. Ask for help, not because you're weak, but because you want to remain strong. And ask for help and don't stop until you get it. Father, please help me. Help me, give me the strength. Give me the strength. I can't do this by myself. I need you. I need you. And he will answer. He will answer. He will answer. Listen. Don't underestimate yourself. You do what you can do, and God will do what you can't do. Take the initiative. Learn something new. Throw your net on the other side. Be ambitious. Reach. Ask for help, not because you're weak, but because you want to remain strong. And just make up your mind and expect things to get better for you. Get better. There are people who put forth more energy and more passion for the outcome of a football game or a basketball game than they do for their dreams. And part of what you have to do is to be still. I was talking to my son, Patrick Brown, this morning. I said, what if you had to suggest to me a talking point of how do you make a way out of nowhere? He said, first thing is, Dad, got to be still. He's right. He said, I'll keep thee in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. Celeste Johnson said, do your best and let God do the rest. And she's right. He still is an active force in your life. You are a miracle worker. Well, how can I create miracles in my life? How could you say that to me and I have nothing? Don't say that. Don't say that. People who don't have nothing are in the cemetery. Don't say that. Shh. You have miracle working power in you. Here's how you activate them. I read this. It said, miracles start to happen when you give as much energy to your dreams as you do to your fears. Wow. Oh, that'll preach. Miracles happen when you give as much energy to your dreams. A dream of having another house, a dream of having the ability to come back, a dream of picking up the pieces and starting all over again. The dream of, if you get knocked down in life, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. A dream that when a doctor looks at you and said, you're terminal, and you say, no, you determine the diagnosis. God determines the prognosis. The dream that this has not come to stay, it has come to pass. Oh, when you give as much time and energy to your dream, to this new vision of yourself, I'll give you all your eyes can see. When you give as much time and energy to what you see, as Flip Wilson used to say, what you see is what you get. Come on now. If you do that, give as much time and energy to your dream as you do to your fears, that creates the opening for miracles to show up in your life. For God to come on the playing field and do the greater work. Miracles is things that God do for you, as you, through you, and you know it's not you. And you can say, look at God. Look at God. Yes, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Oh, behave. Would you end it here? Yes. Listen, I got here by following that. God has given you a spirit of power, the power to make a decision, and the power to decide to do something that you love and love what you do and find a way to monetize it. And of sound mind, something that will strengthen your mind. So I chose to speak. Reverend Ike used to say something I thought it was so heartless. He said, the best thing to do for the poor is not be one of them. I said, well, that's funny and that's cruel. He was right. Because if you're one of them, if you're poor, if you don't have nothing, you can't do nothing for them or yourself. But on the other hand, if you're not poor, if you got some moolah, if you got resources, if you got some knowledge and some learning, now, rather than trying to push them out, you can pull them out. Oh, come on now. Come on. I thought you say you about to wind this thing up. I thought you say you about to land this plane. Can you hear, brother? Up in here, up in here. A guy was casting aspersions on me named, I'm not going to tell you his name, was Sam Crawley. Guy did an interview with him, helping out his podcast. And he was trying to get a guy as a customer. Don't ever do this. And the guy said, well, I've got a coach. And he said, well, look here, man, I hope that you don't have a coach like many of these people out here, that washed up dude named Les Brown that used to be a disc jockey in Columbus, Ohio. And the guy said, I have a coach, and he used to be a disc jockey. He didn't mention Columbus, Ohio. Sam didn't know. He was talking about me. Sam lured him with some program that he was going to do and help him make over $1 million speaking. But he made a mistake. He borrowed somebody's brand new car and took a picture in front of the car, in front of in front of a donut place. You know, the Dunkin' Donuts. He took a picture in front of Dunkin' Donuts. If you got it like that, you would take a picture in front of your house. And he said, isn't this weird? Isn't this weird? And why does he have to call Les Brown washed up disc jockey? Recognized in the industry as a legend. Why does he have to cast aspersions on his character and call him an old, washed up disc jockey and speaker? He said something was wrong with that. I smell a rat up in here. And so Sam said, you ready to sign up? He said, no, I've already been trained how to be a speaker from this washed up guy that I met in Columbus. I was thinking about, if you can help me make $1 million as a speaker, why did you take a picture in front of Dunkin' Donuts? Why didn't you take a picture in front of your mansion? He said, he didn't have an answer. Oh, my Lord. You can't make this stuff up. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. Angels stand before him. Heaven and earth adore him. What a mighty God we serve. I hope you enjoyed the message this morning from the Greatness Center. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Bye for now. I hope I brought a smile to your Sunday morning. Now you can go and have church, okay?